Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, once again, coming at you from the backyard studio. It's your boys from A Puff a Minute with another Cigars and Conversation. You already know, I'm your boy, Cigar Mick.
The Cigar Banker. What's good, people?
That's what's happening, y'all. That's what's happening. Hey, bro, first of all, welcome back.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure the government was going to shut us down after that last one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We put people on some game in that last one, bro.
Yeah.
But you notice we can't go live right now.
This is true. We've been trying to go live. Y'all might have noticed the technical difficulties, a little change in format as a result of, I don't know if it's the conversation got too deep
I think it might, man. I heard a lot of cats, man, that's been, sharing that awakened mind, that conscious mindset around everything that's going on. A lot of people are not able to go Facebook or IG Live right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, could be something to it. I'm not saying it is, but it could be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So
Before we get too deep, man, we got to tell them what we smoking, man.
Go.
So, yeah, today I got this nice Padron anniversary series. You see that strong ash there? But this is actually Nicaraguan all through and through. 4-year age tobacco, man. It's a nice stick. It's a 7x50 I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful stick right there, bro. And the Padron family, man, is one of the original families, man.
Yes.
Back to Cuba, man, and what have you, bro. But great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Because I also have a Padron.
Yeah. Right?
And mine is just the, Padron, the natural, bro. It is about 5x50. Had a long night last night, so I didn't want to do nothing too big today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a 5x50, man, Nicaraguan through and through. Like you said, with that beautiful Colorado Maduro wrapper on there, baby. So
yeah.
That's what's good, man.
Can never go wrong with a Padron.
Absolutely. And of course,
the little Teddy Brewskis out here.
Yeah, the champagne beers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to my grandma, you know what I'm saying, in heaven, bro, who's the first person to turn me on to the high life.
Is that right?
So that's what's up, man. So, I don't know, bro, to talk about, it does just so happen to be what most people in the world call Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really call it that, but that's just me, y'all. But it's Resurrection Sunday. It's the day that we acknowledge the empty grave that was left behind by one, Yeshua of Nazareth and what have you, man. So first of all, wish all the best to you and your family, man.
Yeah. Happy Resurrection Sunday, as we say in my household.
Yeah,
we celebrate Easter and whatnot, and we let the kids enjoy it, but we make sure they know the reason for the day.
Yeah.
Not that it was a bunny hopping around hiding eggs.
Right.
We celebrate this day to recognize the day that Jesus rose again, our ultimate victory.
Absolutely, man. In this day and age, bro, it is imperative that people know truth from fiction. And I say that for a reason, man, because if you recognize what we call, the term, the sign of the times and everything, and this is not, geared to be a sermon, a Sunday sermon message or anything like that, but if you recognize just the signs of the times that we're living in, then you have to go back and ask yourself a question, you know what I'm saying? And that question basically comes back to, what is your number one asset, your number one commodity? And for a lot of people, they say, well, I got X amount of dollars in the bank. And a lot of people, it's, I've got possessions, cars, and, all of these types of things. So a lot of people will say it's their family. But at the end of the day, man, and I say that because of the day that we're living in, we are being forced to reevaluate where our values stand. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, bro, it's got to be your soul. It's got to be, that spiritual light that's inside of you, man. That's got to be like crying out and gravitating towards something bigger than you at this time.
Yeah.
Bro, last year, I think it was last year, right? Was it last year, man, when we had like a biblical plague of locusts?
Oh yeah.
That descended on Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You remember that, man?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was thinking about that this morning, and now today I'm thinking about the pestilence. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go back to, when the children of Israel were in Egypt, right, and there was those plagues that took place, and the last plague was the angel of death, right, where they painted, and they just, this is also what we deem Passover season. They painted the blood over the doors and whatnot, so that the angel of death will pass over there, right? And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, man, when you look at everything that's been happening in the world, bro, just sum it all up, man, with the natural disasters, man. And that locust thing really kind of freaked me out last year. You know what I'm saying? And then, just all of it. And now today, well, we got thousands and thousands and thousands of people dying per day.
Yeah.
Angel of death. But I don't know if you got to be a biblical scholar to know that something is going on right now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Something is going on, man. So again, that's just it for me, bro. Again, man. You know,
well, it starts with war, right? It's war, pestilence, famine.
Yeah.
It all coincides. We had war, we had pestilence, we had famine, and it seems to be more prevalent. And we talked about this last year when the locusts were coming through and the grasshoppers and they came through the city, and we was talking about, okay, right after that, that's when the missiles was being sent to Syria.
Right.
So then it was like, okay, here come the war. Yeah. What's next?
Now what? You know what I'm saying? And again, it's crazy, bro. But you have to be willingly walking through life with blinders on right now if you don't see the correlation. You know, so again, that's just where my head is at right now. You know, as things to think about. And I said you got to know the truth, because it's not just in the area of religion. You know, I heard this week. Tell me if you heard about this. That malaria drug, hydrochloroquine, whatever the heck it's called, that they want to use to treat the coronavirus, that they're going to be releasing it to be utilized in a lot of the prisons. Okay, against the inmates in the prisons. What's that remind you of, first of all? Somebody say Tuskegee air, you know, Tuskegee air experiment or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with the syphilis and stuff. So the crazy thing about that is our fearless leader, right, President Trump, that he owns equity in the company that produces this so-called drug that they want to use for. Now, there's been, first of all, it's not even like the go-to for malaria anymore. People rarely use it for malaria and whatnot, and there have been no studies that support that this thing fights any virus of any type, none whatsoever. But they're pushing this agenda. They're pushing this agenda, right? So, and then on top of that, I heard this week that Ivanka Trump has been assigned to the coronavirus task force on economy. Wait for it, all right? And she has just been granted a trademark in coffins. Follow the trail, bro.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna kill him with this drug, and when I kill him, you can sell them these coffins and whatnot.
We're gonna make it full circle.
We're gonna make money on this virus, bro. And I'm sitting back like, this is just crazy. How bold, bro. You know, it's crazy, man.
But the news blurbs have been crazy. Like I said, I had not heard about the coffins. I did hear the other story with Trump and his equity ownership. Yeah. But a couple of things that hit me good that was good to me this week is our governor actually banned the use of that drug in our state.
Yeah.
So he said he will not introduce it to our healthcare system and ask anyone to take it.
Well, lots of states have taken that position, which is why they're going to use it in the prisons.
Right.
Because prisoners have no rights.
They have none.
Yeah.
That's the only way the 13th Amendment does not apply to you, is to be a slave, is to be in prison for a felony. So that's, once that happens, you have no rights, like you said.
Exactly.
You become a guinea pig, you become a ward of the state.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation, but that's where they are now, because we have deemed it as a society they should have no rights.
Right.
Because if we didn't, we would have done something about it, but we haven't.
It's crazy. So when everything on the outside is looking like it's right, but that is rotten at its core. You know what I'm saying? For you know, I'm just disappointed, man, in the whole administration, man, in all of the, you know, the mindless yes men and women that surround this cat. Yeah. What have you, bro? Because it's just beyond ridiculous at this point.
Well, I don't know, man. You know? Dr. Fauci is something else.
Well, Fauci is, you know, but Fauci, he talked about this in 2017.
Right.
You know, I posted that on the Facebook page.
Right.
You know, that he talked about during the Trump presidency that there was going to be a big virus that was going to be killing thousands of people. Why did he know this? You know what I'm saying? But he talked about it then before Trump was elected.
And it's funny now, if you watch the press conferences, they cut him short every time now. Dr. Fauci's got work to do. Let him go.
Before he took office. But say it again.
No, he gets cut short during the press conferences now. So as he's talking and he'll be answering questions for the press, Trump or someone else steps in. Dr. Fauci's got work to do. Let him go finish his work. He didn't say too much because he did the whole run of the news networks and he was on everything. He was on Fox. He was on CNN. He was on CNBC, and he didn't care. He was just giving out the information. And then Trump said, "Wait a minute, he giving out too much right now." So now I've noticed in the last week, every time they come out with an update with the task force, he gets cut short. They let the other doctor speak. I can never remember her name, but they let her speak majority of the time. But she's clearly a yes person, and she's like, "I'm gonna give you the uplift, the uplift." Dr. Fauci's like, "I'm just gonna give you the facts and let you deal with it."
Right, yeah. So you're saying it's very probable that his Facebook Live and IG Live don't work either.
Very probable. Very probable. Dr. Fauci, I'm praying for you on this Resurrection Sunday.
It's crazy
that you stay uplifted, my brother. But definitely, man, like you said, it is disappointing. I've gotten to the point now, I take it at face value, and I hope everyone does. Because we talk about this all the time, man. You got to use your mind. Exactly. You got to use your mind, take everything in, and evaluate it for yourself. But gather the information. Don't be ignorant to facts. Gather the information and use it to the way that matches your value and your value system.
Exactly. So people right now probably watching it like, yo, how we got these two cats up here right now, you know what I'm saying, who are smoking cigars, drinking some brew, and talking about Resurrection Sunday. Because it ain't what you think, people. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, don't let the traditions of man fool you, right? And tell you that things have to look a certain way or be a certain way for it to be real. You know what I'm saying? You guys, first of all, you celebrating a holiday that had nothing to do with Christianity. Or I don't even like the word Christianity, but you're celebrating a holiday that had nothing to do with the believers of Christ. All right, let's start with that. You know what I'm saying? And I could break down to you about, Tammuz, Nimrod, whose wife was Ashtar, also called Ishtar, you know what I'm saying, who died. And then his wife seriously got pregnant and had another child and named the child Tammuz and said that was Nimrod reincarnated. And then Tammuz was killed by a wild boar, so this festival was created because plants grew in the area where he was killed. You know what I'm saying? So it became a spring harvest type of a celebration, so to speak. But again, that's getting too deep. But when America was founded, Easter wasn't celebrated.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, not until after the Civil War.
Yeah.
Did they start celebrating Easter in America, bro? Because those Quakers wasn't having it.
Right.
Believe me. So again, understand, man, that things ain't always what they seem to be. Last week, all right, we talked a little bit about the coronavirus. Right. Last week we talked a little bit about Event 201. Right. And how Event 201 said that this thing was going to ride for 18 months. Remember that? Yeah. How about the next day, man? I'm on a call, man, with a friend, a source, a brother, who basically is on the works for Homeland Security. I don't want to get too much away, but basically, I'm just saying a good source. And he was like, man, where'd you come up with that? He said, how'd you get that, bro? He said, because that's what we're talking about in our briefings. 18, the government knows it's 18 months. They just don't want to create a panic. It's supposed to surge and, come down and then surge again. And then, come down. It's going to be several peaks on this thing. So you hear them talking about peaks now and whatnot. Well, there'll be several peaks and whatnot. So this thing is not close to being over. And prepare yourself for this, okay? Because the next thing that you're going to start hearing in the news cycle is that African Americans are more susceptible to the coronavirus than anyone else.
I wanted to talk about that because it's bothering me to no end. But they got everybody on the news networks pitying black folks. Black people are more susceptible. It's the same thing they said about AIDS and HIV. Exactly. That we were more susceptible to contracting it to any other person. It's the same thing they said about us when we were slaves. Your calf muscle is higher on your leg than a white person, so you can run and jump faster and work longer. It's just the same situation, bro, all over again.
Well, remember, when this thing first started, bro, I did a show. I don't think you were on the show with me. That I did from the tent one time with Bad Ash. And I said, listen, guys, the whole agenda behind this is to divide and conquer. right? Because at that time, everybody was so afraid to, you know, sit on a plane next to an Asian person or go get Chinese food or what have you.
Right.
And I said, if I can use a virus to make you separate from those of Asian descent, then I can use the fear of a virus to separate you from African Americans, to separate you from Latino Americans, to separate you from American, you know, Native Americans, you know, and throughout, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about divide and conquer. And if there's fear of one another, you know, how much easier is it to control the population?
Right.
This whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, is about two things: depopulation and control of the population that survives. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you can separate people, you know, and first of all, you get people to quarantine themselves and stay in their homes, and they don't have that they don't have that social interaction that we need as human beings. That's the first part. Now you're afraid of your neighbors. Now you're afraid of the people across the street. Now you're afraid to, you know, embrace one another when you see one another. It creates this callousness, you know what I'm saying, of it's dehumanizing in a sense. Right? Mm-hmm. So again, this is really what's going on behind the scenes as far as I'm concerned. So yes, you will start hearing, and man, hopefully we'll be back next week. Because again, if we're gonna keep sharing like real truth with y'all, man. The Bible doesn't say the truth will set you free. It says you will know the truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So I'm trying to give y'all some knowledge right now, something that you'll understand. You'll be hearing about this now. The numbers being reported in the media, right, which is television programming, right, which is propaganda, government propaganda, whatever you want to put on it, is going to now move you into a mindset that African Americans are to be feared more than any other people in America right now, because we're carriers of the virus. Wait for it.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer, like when you talk about diversity and inclusion and things like that, that compassion and understanding comes from being able to interact with one another.
Yeah.
Once you take away that interaction from the people of Asian descent, from black people, Latinos, what have you, that interaction no longer happens. You no longer have understanding. So now I fear you because I don't know you.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're capable of. I don't know who you are as a person.
Yep.
So that starts to build up, and then we got to deal with that.
Exactly, bro.
So
it's crazy, man. It is crazy. So how we doing on time?
We got about a minute, bro.
We got about a minute. I'm gonna go out, man. Before we shut it down, bro. I just want to break some bread with you, my man.
Yeah, yeah.
In light of, you know, Passover, you know, Resurrection Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And I'll bless it in the manner of my ancestors. All right. Baruch Adonai Elenehu Melech Haolam.
I don't know what that means, but okay. We out.
We out. We out.
You'll have to translate that now, bro.
Blessed are you, O Lord, King of the universe.